Every screen in here.
Dr. Waller, are you going to set up a meeting for executive? You have that. You're going to set up. Oh.
So Clay and John's not. Clay, can you hear me?
Yes, barely. Can y'all hear me okay?
That a little better?
That's a lot better.
Helps when you turn the mic on.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, but not loudly. But if you have any questions, raise your hand, get our attention somehow.
All right.
And when we go into executive, Clay, it's okay if we just call you?
That's perfect.
Okay, it is 6 p.m. August 24th. I call this meeting of Santa Fe Independent School District order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present. This meeting has been duly called. Its notice has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. We have 5 board members present in person, and we have 2 board members that will be participating virtually. At this time, board members will now adjourn to executive session as authorized by the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.001 concerning any and all purposes permitted by the act. Should any final action, final decision, or final vote be required, that final action, final decision, and final vote shall take place in open session, and we are in executive session at 6:01 p.m.
And I think Cherie has a wonderful
Okay. We're now ready to reconvene. Good evening and welcome to this meeting of Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees. I believe it's important this meeting be conducted in an organized and efficient manner, and to that end, we'd like to outline some ground rules for all of us to follow during the course of the evening. First and foremost, recognize this is the board's meeting. By law, most of the discussion and all of the voting must be done in open session, but public participation by necessity must be limited to that part of the agenda that is reserved for public input. Occasionally, the board may seek comment or clarification from an administrator in attendance or even from someone in the audience. It's the board's prerogative to seek that information from non-board members as it chooses. However, unsolicited participation from the audience is inappropriate. At times, it may seem we're voting on issues of importance with little or even no discussion. Be advised that all board members get a packet of background information about the various subjects on tonight's agenda several days in advance of actually coming here to participate in the meeting. After receiving the packets, all board members have and often exercise the opportunity to contact various school administrators to ask questions in an effort to better understand the issues in which we're expected to vote. We thank you for being interested in your school district as witnessed by your presence here tonight. We encourage your active participation in the educational process of your children. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us conduct the business of Santa Fe ISD in an organized and civilized manner, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Mr. Davenport, would you lead us in the invocation and the pledges, please?
Yes, sir, sure will. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, just like most nights, and just ask that you lead this district in a direction that it needs to go. And dear Lord, we know that emotions are high and everybody is feeling the pressures of learning virtual. But dear Lord, tonight it's asked that you give the comfort to those all educators across the district as well as the state and nation. It's not easy, and we know that this too will come to an end. But most importantly, also, we don't want to forget our parents who are helping our children. Dear Lord, help them have the patience and the help that they can give their students and their kids the best that they can do. Dear Lord, just watch over us as we drive home. Dear Lord, thank you for everything that you've done. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, one indivisible. Justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Kind of like those two storms that are coming together.
United States of Texas.
The United States of Texas.
The new pledge.
Yeah.
The Fujiwiji effect.
Okay, do we have any action from our executive session?
No, sir.
All right, we'll move on. Next is our public comment on agenda and non-agenda items. The Board of Trustees will hear public comment on agenda items at all open meetings in accordance with the Texas Government Code, Section 551.007. Public comment on non-agenda items will be heard at a regular scheduled board meeting in April, August, and December. This happens to be August, but we had no one sign up for either agenda items or non-agenda items. So we will move on to our information items. Dr. Wall, you have some monthly reports and some things for us.
We do, thank you. So we have your monthly reports for your review in all of our department areas, and maybe we'll start with a update from Mr. Atkins on our facilities and projects.
How's everybody this evening? Real quick update at the high school. They are moving forward. The mason showed up today. The masonry sand showed up. They started doing a layout. They're going to get CMU block tomorrow. So you'll start seeing the walls go up over the next few weeks. The little vestibule, security vestibule at the cafeteria, the glass is in. They're waiting on the doors to come. Those should come this week. The HVAC should be going in sometime this week or next week, depending on the weather. And hopefully that'll be done early September, the vestibule. The structural part, once the block goes up, they can put the roof on. There's not very many columns, so it'll go pretty quick. Some maintenance things. We submitted a letter requesting funding from FEMA for the football field being damaged. We attributed that to Hurricane Harvey. So we added a amendment to the claim that we had for the high school for mitigation. With that claim, we also asked them to redo the track because the track also has some subsidence failure with some subgrade based on recommendation from PBK's engineer. So we submitted that letter about 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to work with PBK on how to move forward, whether we wait to get pricing to do the repairs or we just go ahead and get the price in, then hopefully FEMA will refund us to do those repairs. We're going to shoot for doing the repairs in the summer of 2022. So, or 2021, sorry.
Say,
Moving right along.
Maybe
When
I'm on
you're-
the wrong agenda.
I know time goes fast, but that's.
I know. I'm moving too fast. Other than that, we've been preparing for the storm. We'll do a little bit more preparing tomorrow and we'll continue to keep an eye on it, but I think we're in a good place. Do you have any questions?
Any questions from Mr. Atkins?
Do we have any idea how much this football track project could potentially cost us if FEMA says you're out of luck and
So,
we have to eat the whole price?
so the football field price I got was just under 900,000, but that was replacing the turf and the subgrade. What I would do is approach them to reuse the turf. Turf's supposed to last 10 years. It's only had 5 on it. So we would approach them for reuse. I don't know if it'd be a 1-for-1 because there'd be more labor involved with removing the turf so they could put it back in the same manner it came off. But we'll work with them. They have shown a desire to really work with us on price and try to be very competitive. But I think for FEMA, we would bid it to, multiple vendors to get our best price for repair and all that. So we're going to look at it both ways.
But it could be really bad.
It could be, yes. The track, we're estimating about 600 to 700,000 to remove it and redo it. So it's not near as bad. It looks really good, but some of the edging has started to sink. Some of the concrete edging on the edges has started to shift, and so we're going to eventually have trouble there.
Yeah.
On the court, the one we had damage on through Harvey, I forgot what the fix was for that. Is it good now?
Yeah, so what we found when we created the hallway after May 18th is we found a clean out that we all thought was part of a sanitary sewer line, and it turns out it's a stormwater clean out. And we had a really large rain event about 2 years ago, and it created a geyser because it wasn't properly capped. So we've put a 60 PSI cap on top of that, and we check it regularly. And we checked it before as part of our storm prep to make sure it doesn't pop again. But we also will take measures to put some barricades in front of the gym because that is sunken to try to mitigate any amount of water. But when we did find that, the water actually went north instead of south and down the hallway. So it wasn't as bad. But before it used to be in the weight room and it's underneath those weight mats. And so we didn't know it was there. And then of course it went straight into the trainer's room and across the hall into the gym. So we've got it in a better place now.
Good deal.
Any other questions for Bob? Thanks, sir.
Yep.
All right, who's going to do the district
I
calendar?
think Ms.
update?
Ryan's going to do update on revising the testing dates for this school year.
Okay, good evening. The district calendar was updated due to changes in STAR assessment dates. The Texas Education Agency is allowing for a 5-week window of time to complete all STAR testing. And we chose dates to maximize the amount of instructional time prior to testing. So we're going to test later in the window, obviously, rather than earlier in the window, and all testing will be online.
Any questions about that?
No? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the update. Let's see, next one, we have an update from Mr. Watson. I see him back there from GCAD. Are you going to introduce him or?
Yes, I am. This is Tommy Watson from the Galveston Central Appraisal District. He is the chief appraiser, and he's here to visit with us about the 2019 value study.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. As you know, we filed a protest on behalf of Santa Fe ISD with the Comptroller's Office for the 2019 property value study. They've made some changes for us, but it still wasn't enough to get us where we needed to be. They don't like to do time adjustments. We requested that they do a time adjustment. We hired a statistician to come in and do time adjustments on that. We wanted them to take and do it quarterly, and we wanted them to drop off the fourth quarter. They wouldn't drop off the fourth quarter because they felt that it was still raising at 1% a month. It was what the market was doing. So therefore, they made some small changes for us, but it wasn't enough to get us to where we needed to be. We feel confident that for 2020, they will be doing a property value study again, and that we will be where we need to be for 2020.
Any questions for Mr. Watson?
I'm sorry, but I just thought from our other conversations we had before that this was going to be a pretty much a slam dunk easy thing.
We felt that it would. There's other steps that you can take. I mean, we just did the written protest, and then we did an informal Zoom meeting with the comptroller's office. They didn't want us to come down there. And you can take and go to a SOHO court, State Office of Administrative Hearing would be the next step. And after that, you can file in district court. We felt that it wasn't a good idea to go to a SOHO court on this, since we are still with local value for this year, and we're in 1 year of the grace. We didn't feel that it would be a good idea to go there. We felt, but they hold all the cards.
I know we have 1 year grace, but it doesn't give me a lot of confidence that we couldn't come up with what a 0.5% this year. And then we go into next year, it's kind of making me nervous, but I don't know.
We'll see where it ends up.
So the
where it goes, I
surrounding
guess.
districts that were worse off than what we were, do we have any kind of data for, are they still fighting this as well, or did any of them get their values up?
Everyone signed off. And Texas City ISD was the worst. They ended up getting local value, the attorneys that were working for them. They're still in 1 year of the grace period, but they got local value. We also did Hitchcock, which had state value. We were able to get Hitchcock with 1 year grace. So everybody's got 1 year grace this year.
And when you're saying signing off, they're signing off with the 1 year grace.
Yes.
So they're accepting.
And they're not at 95%, but they were above the threshold for state value.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any other information items, Dr. Well, before we move on?
Sir.
All right, next we'll move into our consent agenda. And we've got,
Do have a few items for your consideration and approval on a consent agenda this evening, including our minutes from prior meetings, accounts payable, a couple of budget amendments as we move into our new fiscal year, student transfers per policy, our Edgenuity subscription renewal, which is online courses that we use in our high school and alternative setting, and updates of some teacher appraisers for 2021, and some additions to the fast food merchandising awards.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as it was presented. Do we have the electronic voting capability now? We do not. Okay, so all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. And I cannot, do we have anyone in contact with our two virtuals right now?
So can we somehow see that, Mr. Robbins? There's one. Thumbs up.
You good, Mr. Snyder?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Clay?
Clay? Oh, it's unanimous. Thank you. All right, with that, we will move into our regular agenda. And Ms. Townsend, you have the first item, actually the first couple items, first several items.
Good evening. So every year we come and we approve the appraisal rolls. So they are attached to the agenda item, and we're asking for you to review those and approve those so that we can move forward with tax collections.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve accounts payable.
I second it.
Oh,
Hold on.
Hold on, you're off a couple.
Appraisal roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, the premier.
It's not pulling up the correct agenda items.
Hold on just a second here. We've got some technical difficulties.
And I can share my printed copy with someone.
I can do it for
It's
you.
needed.
Mr. President, I'd like a motion that we approve the 2020 appraisal roll and recognize the compliance with the Texas Property Tax Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2020 appraisal roll that was presented to us. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
Not all those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Can I see my virtuals? Clay, you were good. Mr. Snyder? It's good, so it is unanimous. Okay, next we have the tax rate.
So I have been told by some very brilliant people that all I need to say is one sentence and I need to stop talking. So the word is, the maintenance and operation tax rate is being lowered by 4 cents. And we would like for you to approve that. There is more information on the district website to explain why, but we would like for you to approve our new maintenance and operations tax rate.
Could you send out I know y'all had put that video together.
Is it on the website?
Is
So
it-
all
It
the
will be
board members have
posted.
seen the video, I believe, but we'll also make it accessible on the website.
It'll be posted tomorrow morning.
Okay.
As she stated, the most important thing is your taxes are getting dropped again in the same year.
Okay. Any other questions about the tax rate?
I'm not going to ask questions. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the resolution to adopt the 2020 tax rate of $1.2816, which consists of a maintenance and operations tax rate of $9193 and an interest and sinking debt tax rate of $3623.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2020 tax rate that was presented. Any other questions or comments?
It's probably illegal to skim tax dollars.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. 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 That's probably not
I'm
good.
not allowed to ask questions.
Okay, if there are no other questions or comments, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Can I see my virtuals? Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder is a yes, so it is approved unanimously.
Woohoo, woohoo. Jonathan, did you get
101.
that? Jonathan, did you record that? You there, Jonathan? Okay. Just making sure.
Okay, Ms. Townsend, now we have the reimburse the project expenditures.
Okay, this is just a procedure that we put in place just in the event that we were to consider in the next 2 years to go out for a capital project election. 1, we do not have to go out and ask for that. 2, if we don't put it in the place, we can't go back later and ask to be reimbursed. So anytime you use general fund dollars to do a capital project, you can request that it be reimbursed in the future within a 2-year period. So we have asked to purchase some laptops and a few other items. We have it down to pay for it out of the general fund budget for this year. That will cover it. But in the event the board was to make the decision to go out for a referendum, these would become items that would be eligible to reimburse the general fund. You don't have to execute the referendum. If you choose not to, you don't have to go out for reimbursement. But if you do, it's in place so that we can do that. And that's all that we're asking, is to approve that we put it in place for the option.
So basically, if you don't approve this, then you can't go do it later.
That's correct. You don't have the option later.
Good. What's your pleasure?
My pleasure is to get rid of Board Book Premier because I can't find anything.
It's page 103.
You kinda just have to
103.
But I know
scroll.
it's,
Yeah.
you just got to scroll to it. It's not taking you directly to it.
Mr. President, I make a motion. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the resolution declaring intention to reimburse project expenditures.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution to reimburse our project expenditures. Any other questions or comments? Not all those in favor, raise your hand, please. And could I see my virtuals? Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder is a yes, so it has been approved unanimously. Thank you, folks. Okay, we have some donations, Ms. Townsend.
Yes, and we're asking anytime we have a donation over $5,000, it requires board approval. And the Education Foundation has made the funds for wish list projects, and it's on the attachment of where all the funds are going. And we just need, and also there is a football booster club donation and a tribal bells booster club donation for the amount of $32,768.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the acceptance of the donation that is greater than 5,000 received. The total donation is $32,768.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve these donations. Any other questions or comments? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. And my virtuals, Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder is a yes, so it is approved unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Townsend. Ms. Hansard, you have attendance awareness proclamation.
Yes, sir, I do. September is Attendance Awareness Month. The 2020 theme, Present, Engaged, and Supported, effectively serves to educate the public that good attendance is essential to student achievement and graduation. And we are committed to dedicating our resources and attention to reducing chronic absenteeism rates with a focus starting as early as pre-kindergarten and kindergarten. The district is urging all parents and staff to encourage broad community engagement and sustained civic action to help families get their children to school every day, whether it be in person or virtually.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim the month of September as Attendance Awareness Month in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this attendance awareness proclamation. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hands. And my virtuals.
Irony.
Clay is a yes. And Mr. Snyder's a yes, so it's been approved unanimously. All right, Ms. Ross, you've got our resolution for the coordinated response grant.
Yes, sir. And that's going to be from Dr. Gordon, Dr. Peggy Gordon. Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Ma'am.
Can't see you.
Okay. Start my video. There I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, great. Well, good evening. The item that I have brought this evening is an application for another VOCA grant, which is our coordinated response grant. This would be our third grant, which supports our wellness counselors at the high school. The current grant would be $200,000, which would support 2 counselors and a clerk. And what we need is a resolution from the board okaying us to apply for this grant.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve a resolution of the board regarding the Santa Fe Coordinated Response Grant from the Office of the Governor.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution for the coordinated response grant. Any other questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. And my virtuals, Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder, he is a yes. It has been approved unanimously. Okay, Ms. Ross, we have the asynchronous instruction plan.
The board must approve the Santa Fe ISD asynchronous instruction plan, which includes attestations and open-ended questions to be answered in order to receive funding for asynchronous attendance. The superintendent and the school board must attest that the plan submitted to the Texas Education Agency will be executed as described. The plan was shared if anyone has any questions Overall, it defines the minimum number of instructional minutes. It addresses all funding requirements, and it specifically defines teacher and student expectations. And so we are asking that you consider and approve the 2020-2021 Santa Fe ISD asynchronous instructional plan.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the 2020-2021 Santa Fe ISD asynchronous instruction plan.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the asynchronous instruction plan. Any other questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hand. And my virtuals, Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder is also a yes, so it has been approved unanimously. Thank you, folks. All right, next we have Ms. Oliver. You have the Avondale House service agreement.
Yes, sir. I actually have 3 for tonight. Avondale provides educational services to children with autism. They operate a year-round school where they serve more than 12 school districts. Santa Fe has only 1 student attending Avondale at this time. It has a highly instructed environment with highly trained staff. These services are not available from any other non-public day school in our area. Each year, the students have an annual review and dismissal meeting to evaluate the effectiveness of the out-of-district placement and to develop criteria for the transition back to the district. Special Services is asking the board to review and approve the contracted service agreement with Avondale House not to exceed $52,440 for the 2021 school year.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the contracted service agreement with Avondale House in the amount not to exceed $52,440 for the 2020-2021 school year.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Avondale House service agreement. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hands. And my virtuals, Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder is a yes, so it has been approved unanimously. Okay, the next one, you have the specialized instructional support.
Specialized instructional support provides special education evaluations, including the dyslexia component at all campuses at SFISD. These contracted services are necessary to complete evaluations in compliance with Child Find and the state performance plans. They are contracted services and federally funded, are necessary to provide timely evaluations as required under IDEA B. I'm asking the board to approve the contractor agreement with specialized instructional support to provide evaluations in the amount not to exceed $59,000 for the 2021 school year.
Is this, I know with Avondale, they're pretty much our only option. Do we have other options with this particular contract, and do we look at other ones, or is?
Actually, we contract with several other vendors, but they don't exceed this amount. This is one that has been longstanding, and yes, and comparatively with the rate ratios, this is not the lowest and not anywhere near the most significant.
So we are comparing them.
Yes,
Okay.
we're very
That's all I
competitive
needed to
and
know.
research them.
It's a pleasure.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we consider and approve the agreement with specialized instruction support to provide evaluations in the amount not to exceed $59,000 for the 2021 school year.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract with specialized instruction support. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hands. And my virtuals, Clay is a yes. Mr. Snyder is a yes, so it has been approved unanimously. Okay, you have one more, Ms. Oliver, the Roselle Therapy Services.
Roselle Therapy Services provides physical therapy services to Santa Fe ISD students at all campuses. The contracted services are necessary as a related service to provide services to students with physical disabilities that impede their access to the general education curriculum. Special Services is requesting that the board approve the contract for Roselle Therapy Services to provide physical therapy to the students in Santa Fe ISD for the 2021 school year, not to exceed $59,000.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the contract with Roselle Therapy Services to provide physical therapy to the students of Santa Fe ISD for the 2020-2021 school year in the amount not to exceed $59,000.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Roselle Therapy Services contract. Any questions? Not all those in favor, raise your hands. And the virtuals, Clay is a yes. Mr. Schneider is a yes. It has been approved unanimously. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, that is all of our regular agenda items for this evening. So we will move into some communication. Ms. Ross, I will start with you. Oh, that's scary if she's got to get to the.
Wow, I mean,
I know.
she's delegated all night long and now she's getting up. I'm kind of nervous now.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so tomorrow, we actually just did a call out, and I appreciate Ms. Hanson for doing that. Tomorrow is the last day. We had to wait for TEA 2 weeks prior to in-class face-to-face instruction. Tomorrow is the last day for parents to be able to select whether their child in the first 9 weeks will choose virtual or they will choose face-to-face. And 4 o'clock is actually the deadline. For those students that do not select, they will be enrolled in face-to-face instruction. So that happens tomorrow. And then there's this, day 8 complete. We're counting each day. It's day 8 and it's only day 8. And and I can tell you right now, I feel like I can speak for many parents and many teachers and having lots of conversations about just the duress and stress of readjusting and trying to get used to this new norm because it's not the same as it was in the spring. So it's a lot of trial and error, and it's also a lot of having to understand what's within the realm of control and then what is not within our realm of control. And a lot of us in our group have been working on that in terms of talking about our leadership and how we can help one another through all of these changes. However, the good piece is this, and I was just telling these folks this a moment ago. You go to those learning labs and those kids that have been out of school for so long, they don't care if it's messy. They don't care if it is even potentially like no work whatsoever. They are ecstatic to be back in school. Those kids who have come to our learning labs, they're excited the minute they see their teachers. They're stoked. Matter of fact, we've even had to, teachers are learning teaching management now because kids are so excited. They're meeting and talking over one another while the teacher's talking because they're just wanting that social interaction. And I can tell you right now, when you look at the kids' faces, there's nothing, there's total resilience in what's going on with them. And that's been really exciting because, that's what we're here for. And so as hard as it may be, we're all facing this together as a nation, as a world, as a state. And we just got to keep one day at a time. So every day, day 8, day 9, yay, survived. And again, you want some reviving. It feels like a breath of fresh air when you go to those learning labs and you get to get back around the kids again because they're more excited than ever. And I think that's really been something that is reinvigorating our teachers. So just want to thank everybody, parents, everyone who's made it through. I've talked to some parents on day 1 and then talked to them on day 8. And you're like talking to 2 different people because it's always nerve-wracking because everybody wants things to turn out beautifully. And we want things to be great and perfect, but it's not perfect. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So thank you all for everything and your support.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Hansard.
Yes, sir. I just want to echo what Ms. Ross has been talking about. We couldn't be more proud of our staff across the entire district and what the work that they have put in for our students. And it's not gone unnoticed. And I want them to know that we all appreciate them so very much because they are working every day to ensure that our kids are getting the best educational opportunities that they can possibly get. And also just knowing that looking forward to September the 8th and welcoming our students back on campuses. It's very exciting to think about that. And so I hope that parents will go back into the option and make their selection. As she said, it will be open until 4 p.m. tomorrow. We, as a public relations department, have done a lot of communicating lately. And not only during this virtual learning piece, but now, with a potential storm out there and all of those kinds of things, we've tried to put as many notices out as we can. But one of the things that we're most excited about this week is that we started a new text messaging module, our component in our school messenger. So it is posted on the website. We tested it today with our staff and our parents and sent out some text messages with our staff. We reminded them to self-screen, to wear their masks, to social distance, and all of those sorts of things. With parents, we reminded them about the opting in to the school messenger text messaging, but also about the deadline for selection of their child's instructional method. But if you have not done it, please do so, because as we continue to send those text messages, we will send them to our Board of Trustees as well as our district leadership. So just wanted to tell you that that's very exciting right now, because we can do up to 160 characters. So we do very brief messages and direct them to either the website or another area to find out the information. So, and that's all I had.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Atkins, have anything else for us?
I don't. I've said everything I was gonna say.
Yeah, when you threw that 900-something thousand out there about that.
Sit right there and be quiet.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you've said enough tonight.
Yeah.
Stay seated.
Ms. Townsend, how about you?
I wanted to take a minute to remind the staff that we have services available, counseling services as well as mental health checkup available. We've had it for a number of years now. The Board of Trustees has approved to cover the cost of that. So it is for each of the employees plus your entire family unit, because you're important to us as well as your unit that you're with. And we want to make sure that you're safe and healthy. A lot of us are under having high anxieties, having a little bit more on the edge. You just need someone to help you dial it back. They're there for you. They're doing almost all of their meetings remotely, and they can get to you and help you. If you need information on how to reach that service, please check out the Business Services website under benefits. It's listed on there. It's a LifeWorks program. It doesn't matter who your health insurance is. It is an independent program with licensed counselors from across the area in this area. So please take advantage of that. I've got a call from my daughter that's 21, and I forget our role. I am so much that, okay, we know how to do this. We know we face this. We faced a lot of other different things in our life. You've seen your mom go through different trauma. You've seen things happen with your friends. You got this, girl. This is what it's about. But we need those people there in our life to tell each other that we're okay, we're going to be okay, and we're going to get through this. And I'm going to be honest, you see those cones on the news and you see them coming at you. It's hard to look at. So please, if you're feeling that way and you're feeling overwhelmed, we can help you. We have services for you. They've been out there and they're great services. So please use that option for you and your children, your spouse, your family unit. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Townsend, for reminding everybody about those services that are available, because some of that is just things that we take for granted sometimes that everybody knows, but it's a good for a reminder every now and then. Mr. Kelly, you have anything for us?
Well, I gotta say, I miss this room. Glad to be back in here. But one thing I really miss is coming through those doors and seeing all the kids and, and seeing the smiles or nervousness on their face. That was always a highlight. But, every month I come in here and thank everybody, and it seems like there's always something new to thank everybody for. But I mean, you all do such a great job. And I hate to even mention departments or names, because it's everybody from the one I always forget is custodial and nutrition. I mean, they're all taking on new parts and doing so good. And it's nice to see. And my junior high son just said he wants to go back to school. That kind of blew me away. But he's not really, he's doing the virtual, but not really enjoying it. So congratulations on everybody for doing what you do, and keep up the great work, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Davenport, you have anything for us?
So a couple of things. First of all, thank you to those that signed an application to be on the November ballot. I think that we had 9 total individuals. And with that, I just want to say good luck to everyone. It's great to see that there are others out there that are wanting to get engaged in the district. So thank you so much to all of those, and best of luck. Number two thing was, even though some of the teachers of my sixth grader do not know that I was watching and trying to help my sixth grade today, it just was a testimony about what everybody is truly doing. There was a little bit of a struggle with the communication, technology, just the whole 9 yards. But the individual teacher was sensational. Try to keep the kids occupied, and it was very positive. It was heartfelt, but I know that there was frustration with that individual teacher. But my hat goes off to not only that teacher, but also the rest of the educators across our district. I also take my hat off to those educators that are also at home, parent educators right now. And everybody else that is doing something totally different outside their normal day-to-day routine, especially those longtime veterans that have never done some of the things that they're being asked to do. I cannot thank you enough, and words cannot express, and I cannot articulate my feelings that well, but just know that my mind, my heart, my soul is reaching out to you tonight and just letting you know thank you. So I just ask that you do have patience with us, and that through that patience, the best that we can, try to keep the best that our emotions in check. It's not easy for any of us, and it's not just in Santa Fe ISD, it's all around the Galveston County, it's around the states, and it's around the nation, and around the globe. We too can get through this. I know that, tomorrow brings another day. Ms. Ross said this is day 8. Well, it seems like in a day eternity maybe, but in the end, if we can behave and show our kids what good stewards look like, they will be sponges. They will pick up on it. They will see what the glory behind all this is going to be. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, really. I could not physically or emotionally do some of the things that I know these teachers and staff and CNI and IT and everybody is doing. So, and it takes a village to do what we do for our children. Just ask for patience. I know, and this is the real talk, that when we get a chance to sit up here and talk to the community, and I know I'm getting long-winded, but most of this is formality in this boardroom. It's nice to be back in here, but the realness of it is that what we're doing and how we're making a difference to our youth. And if we govern from our hearts, no matter what happens, in the end, we've done the best that we can. And knowing that we're not going to get this 100% right by everybody else, some people are always going to be upset. Some will be extremely happy. We get that, but in the end, we know that we've done the best that we can, and that's all I can say that this board and the administration has been doing. So again, I offer this over in the July meetings. If you need something, please call me. I've had parents call me. I've had teachers call me. I've had a lot of phone calls, and I'm there to support our district. I'm not there to bash. I'm not there to do anything except for offer suggestions on how to make it a better solution. So if you want to partner with me, I welcome you. If you want to go against the district and everything else, please don't call. So with that being said, I love the district. I love everyone here, and I'm about out of time. So thank you, Mr. Norton.
Mr. Logan.
I'd also like to thank all our departments for everything. If it wasn't for our great tribe we have here, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So thank you all for all the hard work.
Mr. Grassmo.
Well, they've all pretty much covered it. There's one thing that I've heard, and it kind of bothers me because I've heard it 3 times in the last week from all different areas of the district. Not just one department. I've heard this from teaching staff. I've heard it from teachers. I've heard it from a staff member, and I heard it from another individual also. And all 3 of those, and what's weird is it all happened within a week. All 3 of those individuals felt as if they were failing somehow. Nobody in this district is failing. Let me get that crystal clear. None of y'all are going to be perfect. Nobody is going to be perfect. Everybody is doing an excellent job. So if you are one of the teachers or staff members or other individuals that I've read about or talked to, and you feel like you're failing, you're wrong. Do not go there. This is new for everybody. We're going to make mistakes. Everybody up here, I'm sure, is perfectly aware of the fact that we're going to make mistakes. And if y'all make mistakes, so be it. We'll correct them and we'll move on. We don't have to be perfect. But do not feel like you're failing, because none of y'all are failing. That's ridiculous to even think. So please don't bring that anymore. Positive vibes.
Thank you, sir.
Wanna do this, two guys?
Clay, you got anything to say?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
I just echo everything that everyone else said, and thank y'all for everything you do. Everyone at the staff, teachers, had a little taste of it myself being home because we're quarantined. Being the parent and helping my wife, who's the teacher, it's not easy what y'all are doing. So I tip my hat to all you folks out there and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Mr. Schneider, you still there? Mute.
Yes, sir, I'm here. I just want to thank everybody for what they've done. Like everybody said, y'all working hard, appreciate it, and we'll make it through this. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Wall, you have anything else?
Oh, just one little reiteration that I can't think of a better place to be than Santa Fe ISD. This is a difficult time, but we have some great people working really hard all together. And what Mr. Grassmuck said is so true. We've got to be patient with ourselves and understand that this is different times. And you are working hard. We are all working hard, and we're working together for only one purpose, and that's great education for our kids, and to continue to do that. So continue to be thankful, blessed, and appreciative of all of the hard work and the shifts and the adjustments and the tireless hours of work and compassion and love that we all have and continue to offer for our students. So thank you to the board, 100% supportive of our students and ensuring that we do everything that we possibly can to get the very best education for our kids. So thank you all. That's not even it doesn't say enough to say thank you, but truly we're grateful for all of the dedication and compassion and hard work from everybody, and understand that it's not easy. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wall. So also like to just echo Eric's comments, thanking the incumbents that decided to seek another term. And for the one that did not, thanking him for his service for the time he has served, and there'll be more on that later. But those, Mr. Crable, I see you stuck around here, and those that expressed interest, thank you very much for showing an interest in running for the board and being involved from that level. So thank you. I got to tell you, it's been a good start. I know it's 8 days. I bet you think it's been 80 days already, but overall, there are a lot of publications out there across the state and actually across the nation for that matter. And I'm not seeing a school district yet that reported that day one went all that smoothly. And we would be right there in that category as well. But I think from our perspective, we've seen nothing but great strides. And just echoing Mr. Grassmuck a little bit, no one expected this to go perfectly because there are so many unknowns, and it's how well you adapt to things that prove how successful you can be down the road. So everyone just really needs to think about that and think about all the hard work and the things that have gone on so far. It's really been a good start. This doesn't seem like it's already this time, but I'll tell you, Dr. Wall and I participated with the superintendents and board presidents from Galveston County, the school districts and the consortium, and started working on some plans for the upcoming legislative session. It seems like we just spent a ton of time in Austin, and it's already time again, but the they've come up with some really good things to try to be a good voice from Galveston County, things that we may want, and there's some plans for future meetings, and then we'll actually meet with our representatives and senator and everyone to display those. And then TASB has also put together a laundry list of things that they're going to push statewide, but they've given all the school districts a list of that and asked for feedback and everything. And I can tell you, it was an excellent meeting and some really good things to work on. And we'll more about that later, but I'll give you a little idea. There's going to be some asks that let's get the things in place that you've demanded so far before you start asking for a bunch of new stuff. So a lot of things around that. So still more work to be done, but that has started as well. That again, just thanks to everyone in this room and anyone that's listening. You just relay it to all of your folks that this board is saying thank you for all that you're doing and making this as successful as it's been. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Anyone against that, raise your hand. Otherwise, we are adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank